Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm joined by Rachel Hechtman, the founder of Sober in Central Park, a global community and lifestyle platform helping people redefine their relationship with alcohol and reconnect themselves to their purpose. Rachel, very warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm really happy to have you here. I'm excited to dive in as well. So typically with all my guests, I do like to start at the beginning of their journey. So can you take me back to maybe it was what you was doing before you started up Sober in Central Park, and then from there, what motivated you to start up the community?
Sure. Yeah. Being cognizant of like our time, because I could talk about this for hours. I'll give you kind of the abbreviated version. So before Sober in Central Park, I was very much not sober. I was definitely using substances to numb my feelings and to hide from things I didn't want to deal with. And I didn't even realize how low it was keeping me vibrationally and just in my entire life. I didn't really have goals, or I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't like my job. I didn't like my relationships. I just didn't like my reality. But I didn't know how to get out of that. And then COVID happened, and COVID, honestly, I tell people COVID pretty much saved my life. Like, I don't know what my life would have looked like if COVID didn't happen. And it really gave me time to pause and reflect and realize that everything I was blaming on my problems, like my job and my relationship and financial things, like all of that stuff went away, and I still had the same problems that I had before. And I realized it was my own habits that were creating these problems. And in order to create a life that I was proud of and that I liked and that I was happy to do every single day, I had to change my routines and my behaviors drastically. But that's a way harder thing to do than to just say it, especially with something like alcohol, where it's an addictive substance and it's designed to make you want more. And, you know, it's 4.5 years ago, the quote unquote sober movement, sober community did not look like it does today, which is a lot more socially acceptable and a lot more honestly cool. Like, it's kind of cool now if you go around places and you're like, yeah, I don't drink, and people are like, oh, that's cool. Well, 4.5 years ago, it wasn't cool. People were like, yeah, they were like, oh, so like you just have a really big drinking problem, or you were drinking, how much were you drinking? And it was so I didn't want to get sober. But you know, my mom asked me to do a dry month in January of 2021 with her, and I reluctantly agreed on the 3rd of the month. I couldn't commit on the 1st, but I was like, all right, January 3rd, I have a huge hangover from New Year's. Let's try it. And I didn't think I was even going to make it 30 days. Like, I didn't. But somehow I was able to. I think because of COVID, it was, you know, there were no parties going on. Bars and restaurants weren't really open. You know, I didn't have anything tempting me to go out and want to drink.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I got through the 30 days and I felt amazing. Like, I did not know that I could have such little anxiety. Like, my anxiety had always controlled my life so much in terms of like, I didn't want to do things alone. I was scared of stepping out of my comfort zone. You know, I didn't want to try new things. And when I stopped drinking, like, my anxiety went down, and I was like, wait a second, like, there's so many things that I've been missing out on and that I haven't even tried because of my drinking. So I was like, I'll just see how long I can go for. And I haven't had a drink since. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Nice.
It's crazy to think about. But yeah, when I was like 9 months into, I mean, it's wild.
Don't think about it. You've done it.
Yeah. But just like the way that time works, you know what I mean? I'm like, it feels like yesterday kind of, but it also doesn't. That feels like a totally different lifetime ago. When I was like 9 months into my journey, I realized nothing was really holding me accountable, and I was scared that I would maybe drink again, and just like, not that I wanted it, but just that nothing was holding me accountable.
Yeah.
So in my mind, creating an Instagram account to publicly hold myself accountable and share my journey was what I should do, so I didn't drink again. So that's what I did. And but I didn't really think about it like it becoming a business. I was just like, this is just my way of recovering out loud and sharing my story and maybe making some new friends. I didn't really have sober friends. But I think the timing of my sobriety journey, making the Instagram account, and this non-alcoholic beverage movement, they all just like aligned in this weird way where I made my account and it kind of took off, and non-alcoholic beverage companies started contacting me, and then people started asking me to help them get sober, and I became a certified coach, and I started doing events, and it just kind of like one thing after another until it became this like business of my life essentially I'm
Yeah.
like it's my life and I've created a business out of it. So yeah, I mean, never in a million years would I have told you that this would be my reality, but here we are.
Love that. And as you say, like timing kind of works out right because like 5 years ago, I feel like it's the Gen Z movement, right? Because 5 years ago it wasn't popular to not go out drinking. It wasn't like even like I'm like 30 now, and I'm thinking back to when I was younger and I wasn't a big social party. I didn't do that, but I was considered weird for not doing that. So it is a current movement that has really helped and moved that forward.
Yeah, I would say that. I will
Okay.
say, like, I was at an event with Gen Zers last night and I did all
Okay.
the beverage. Oh my
Really valid.
gosh.
They're different. Okay.
I felt really old. I was like, I guess I'm
Yeah.
at that age where I can't tell the difference between someone who's like 21 and 29. And I'm like, oh no, like I feel really old now. Um, but yeah, I really I've done a lot of thinking on this. I think COVID gave people a time to reflect and realize that their health is really important. And
Mm,
if they're doing yoga and drinking green juices, like why are they also then binge drinking every weekend? And so I
true.
think a lot of people like woke up to the fact that like our health is really precious and we need to take
Yeah.
care of our bodies. And like it kind of revolutionized this like wellness movement that's hitting like so I live in New York City, right? And like a lot of stuff happens in New York City first and then kind of spreads out, at least in the United States. And this wellness movement that's taken over New York City is crazy, like in a great way.
Wow.
But like the cold plunges in the saunas, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
have taken over these like morning coffee DJ events without alcohol. Like I'm doing one on Sunday. It's a totally different like energy and just social climate now than 5 years ago.
Okay, I appreciate that. So let's dive into the business a little bit more so the listeners can have some more context moving forward. So talk to me about it. So who would you say is like your ideal customer? Who'd you love to work with and help the most? And then from there, what offers and services you provide to them?
Well, I do a few different things. So I work
Okay.
with individuals, and I help them with coach and I help them get sober or
Yeah.
change their lives. So yeah. So I do 3 month coaching packages with individuals. And that's just like my starting package. And then we kind of reevaluate after the 90 days and see if they want to continue working together.
Okay.
So coaching is one thing I do. And then I also work with non-alcoholic beverage companies. And have a range of packages. I like to have brands on retainer. So I go to events and I bring non-alcoholic beverages companies with me to these
Cool.
events. But I also create content on social media and, do consulting. I've been privileged enough to work with all different kinds of non-alcoholic beverage companies from like big ones to brand new ones. So, there's a lot that goes into it from like distributing the product to packing it at the warehouses
Mm,
to getting people to try it, and
yeah,
um yeah. So
it's a
those are
big
my
service.
two
It
main
is.
things.
So talk to me about the coaching a little bit. So how does that work? Is it like, do you mainly do this online? Is it in person? Walk me through the process a little. What would it be like to work
Yeah.
with
Yeah, no, it's online.
you? Okay.
I do have clients here in New York City, but we meet online. Yeah, typically I get my clients, I think mostly from Instagram. People
Okay.
email me though and set up a discovery call, and we have a 15-minute discovery call. It's usually a lot longer than 15 minutes, but that's what I schedule time for. And we figure out if we're a good fit for coaching. I need to be on a video call with people. I need to energetically connect to the person. I'm
Okay.
very, as we say in New York, woo woo, quote unquote. Like I'm into that whole energy vibrational stuff.
Mm.
And so I need to see if we're a match. And then if we are, I send them a proposal of what 3 months working together would look like. And then we can start right away as long as the pricing works for them.
Okay, and then is there like usually so how would you go about acquiring your customers for the coaching? Is there like a process you do? Do you do any form of like marketing outreach online? How does it
No,
work?
I nope. I've never done any marketing for coaching ever. I actually rarely talk about it, and I kind of just hope and pray sometimes I'm gonna get clients. Which not
Okay.
might not necessarily always be the best strategy, but what I've kind of determined for myself is I'm very much a big believer in the universe and attracting things into our lives and intentional thought and putting things out there. And every time I'm like, okay, I really want to get some clients, I actually sit and I set some intentions and I try to, I don't know, either put myself in situations where I'm going to meet interesting people, or maybe I talk about it on my Instagram stories, but I just kind of trust the process and people
Okay.
then who are aligned come into my like I got a client yesterday and we had our first call today. And I
Okay.
don't know how she found me, but she's like a past version of myself. And that's my ideal client is somebody who I
Yeah.
see myself in, right? And it's a pretty specific person. So yeah, I mean, no, I really don't do
And
marketing.
do you plan to do any in the future?
I do a little bit. I think with my business, because I have so many different revenue streams, I kind of pivot between what I'm
Okay.
focusing on, which goes, I'm
Okay.
ADHD, so that's just like is how my brain works. I don't haven't really needed to do marketing, honestly. Like, I got lucky. Well, I put out good content on Instagram a few years ago when I made my account and got a good community of followers and people
Mm,
find me. And I just really believe that like we're supposed to meet people when we're supposed to meet them and
mm.
people will come. So yeah.
The right people. So where is your like main focus? Obviously, there's a lot going on with the like as you say, the non-alcoholic beverages. You've got the one-to-one coaching, the community. I'm assuming you're doing a lot of events as well with the beverage companies. So like, where do you
Yeah.
feel like your favorite zone of brilliance?
Yeah. Well, I also helped open a non-alcoholic bar and cafe in Brooklyn.
Okay.
It opened
Another
last
one.
month. It's called Soft Bar. So yeah, I would say I really 50-50 split between coaching and being the non-alcoholic bar option at events throughout New York City. I love socializing and being into meeting people in the wellness space of all different walks of life. Like I I really enjoy that. But
Mm,
I also, there's nothing like being on somebody's sober journey with them and helping them
yeah,
stop drinking.
I
Like
can
that,
imagine.
it's a really special experience. And they're really different, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, no,
very
I mean,
yeah, very different, but obviously with the same like similar fulfillment side of things where you're actually helping people. It's like I've got
yeah.
something that I can actually serve to you and offer you and help you get through this, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, the
Pretty cool.
beverages are just like so cool too because people don't know these things exist a lot of times and a lot of these non-alcoholic beverages are complex. Like they have adaptogens in them or kava or they need to kind of be explained. Like people are scared to try new things a lot of times. And so they need
Okay.
you to like walk you through it and be like this is what you're going to experience. This is how you're going to feel. And so getting to see people's reactions to things it's really cool.
I can imagine. So what is the plan for the future for you? How far are you looking to take this? Is there a plan to scale or move forward? What is the goal?
Yeah. There I've only recently been actually thinking about that, scaling and kind of becoming bigger. It's if you saw what was happening around my camera right now, it's beverage boxes of beverages everywhere. And I need to come up with a solution because it is growing pretty quickly and I'm getting new brand partners and so many requests for events. So I have plans. I have people that work for me.
Okay.
And yeah, I have some ideas in the works. But no, I honestly, this all happened so organically without a plan. Like I did not have a plan for any of this, which I don't really recommend doing. Like I'm still kind of like, how did I get here half the time? But I do think that a lot of it came from being authentic, right?
Yeah.
And just like living my life in the most authentic way I possibly could and
Mm,
living in alignment. Like for
hmm.
so long, I was
Yeah.
out of alignment and I felt I knew it. I just didn't know even how to go about being aligned. And then the
Yeah.
second I got in it, things just started clicking and falling into place and I kept following that. So I feel like that's my biggest piece of advice to anyone out there listening is try your hardest to be aligned in whatever you're
Yeah.
doing and feel aligned in your life. And whether that's by like making sure you go to a workout class every morning or journaling in a journal or going to therapy, whatever it is, like you're sometimes like just like little tweaks you can make to get
Mm,
into alignment and then things and opportunities will kind of be presented to you,
mm.
right? And I truly believe we can create our own reality with our minds. And it's not like crazy. It's like
No, it's
magic. Like, and we're able to do it. You just have to believe
true.
it.
No, it's true. If you think negativity all the time, all you'll do is negative things because your body will attract that and associate that with the norm. If you like allow yourself to open up and experience everything, as you say, being aligned with who you are and true to yourself, good things will follow and good things will attract. It's a bit woo, as you say, but I feel like it works.
Yeah, but that's
I
what we have to say here
do.
in New York City because like a lot of people are like whatever, so I have to be like woo woo. But then I'm talking to people from like California, you don't have to say it.
No, you
Uh,
don't. Why is
but
that?
I don't know. We're a little bit more, we're harder here in New York. But yeah, I mean, this stuff's real. And I saw something on Instagram the other day that's like everyone believes in Wi-Fi, which are these invisible waves powering everything, but then people don't believe in frequency, energy, and vibration.
Oh my God, so true. Same thing.
Right? You can't, yeah. I mean, not just like, I don't know. So we are what we attract, and we
Oh,
are
weird.
able to change our vibrational frequencies
Yeah.
and quickly too. I think the biggest secret to that is saying affirmations to yourself.
No, it's true. Just aligning yourself with your values every day and making sure your values are held high, which is
Yeah.
something that a lot of people do, which brings yourself back down, brings your motivation down, stress
Yeah.
increases. It's all vibrations. It's all your body's work.
I think another secret to it, honestly, too, and this is from working with my clients and seeing patterns of this, which is, when you stop drinking, you automatically raise your vibrational frequency immediately because drinking,
Mm,
it's a depressant, it lowers you
yeah,
down. So when you get sober, automatically you go up. And
yeah,
the people you surround yourself with, though, aren't also getting sober usually. So you are now up here and your friends usually are staying in the same spot. And so
yeah,
that you're literally on different wavelengths now, and
yeah.
that can cause disagreements or you just don't see eye to eye anymore, and you can't always keep the same people in your life. And but it's
Mm,
really hard to leave a friendship behind or leave a situation or a job or whatever it is, like something that you're attached to. But if you're on a different vibrational frequency than that thing, it's just going to keep you
yeah,
stuck, and you
yeah,
have to let it go in order to create space for something new to come in that is energetically aligned for you.
yeah.
And but that's really hard for a lot of people.
No, it
um
is. It's one of those things, it's so easy to say, but it's like, and I feel like once you kind of get the light bulb moment, everyone's a bit like, oh, I understand what's going on. Like the clarity kind of hits, but it is a lot to take in and it's a lot to kind of, even as you're saying, like leaving relationship, leaving friends, it's like, where do you go and find new friends? Do you hold on to the past because it makes you feel better? But in a sense, that's why the community, like what you set up, is so great because you do meet new people in the same world, on the same frequency and looking to better themselves and move forward.
Yeah. Well, I say this from personal experience. I mean,
Yeah.
before I started sober in Central Park, I had my drinking friends. I went on a vacation with them to Costa
Yeah.
Rica, realized we have nothing in common anymore. I can't be friends with these people. Was
Mm,
super alone and didn't know what to do. And that's when I created Sober in Central Park, which is now my
mm.
business. Right. And so
Full
it's,
circle.
yeah,
We literally did the same
exactly.
movement with our hand, like when we're miles away. It's a full
Yeah,
circle moment.
exactly.
I love that. So, is there like, is what are you finding is the biggest challenge that you, the biggest challenge for you at the moment in terms of like scaling it and taking this to the next level?
Finding balance in my own life and practicing what I preach sometimes. Like I I work every single day. I work all the time. I don't know how to like I'm working all weekend. I don't, it's really hard for me to take a day off. And as most entrepreneurs know, like this is everything, right? And
Yeah,
it's so figuring out how do I create that space and time for myself without feeling guilty about it, and also how do I actually hire people and delegate and not micromanage, because when it's your business and it's your name and it's like my brand, it's like I'm kind of like obsessive about what goes out and what things are
yeah,
said. So learning how to kind of just like trust and let go and know that I have to do that in order to actually scale.
yeah. You said you had a team. Is there like any like relief they can give you in certain tasks that they take on? Like, what do they help with?
Yeah, with like a lot of like when I do these events, it's a lot of work.
Mm,
I'm bringing everything. This is New York City. You really can't get stuff sent to venues ahead of time. You have to bring everything with you, pack up and take everything out.
wow.
So, bringing all the beverages, all my setup, everything like that with me to these events. I need people to be working in and helping me pour. I've had people in the past helping me with like content and just helping with some DMs and stuff because it gets overwhelming after a while, honestly, if
Yeah,
like like it's constant. And to me, it's energetically draining sometimes. So just having people help with that kind of stuff. I have someone who does my expenses, and
Nice.
I've just totally given that away. I'm like, I don't even want to go in there. Don't make me ever go in QuickBooks ever. Uh, so,
Cool.
that kind of stuff. But I have ideas for ways to grow the business even more and have different parts of it. And, but I would need people to really like be working more for me.
And that's the plan moving forward, getting more people on board so you can actually work on the business rather than in the business. A lot of founders, it's
Yes.
you hit that glass ceiling where it's like it's a lot, and you just need to, as you say, take care of the baby and put the trust in somebody else.
Yep. Yeah, that's what they say.
It's
That's what they
easier said than
say.
done. It
I
is easier said than
know.
done.
I know.
But
I'm trying really hard though, because it's like, yeah, there's only so much one person can do.
as you
And
said,
yeah,
you're already working at 7 days a week. There's no more.
literally. Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
more time.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. But it's also, someone said this to me recently. It's like we work all the time, so we never have to work.
Oh my God, it's such a paradox. We work all the time, so we don't have to work. So true. That's capitalism, I'm afraid.
I know. I know. I
Deep.
know. I know.
But
It's true.
anyway, Rachel, I do want to be respectful of your time. So I have one final question to ask you before we log off. So if you could go back to your younger self and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice that you know now, but that you didn't know then, what would you say to yourself?
Don't be so scared of change. Um, and trust the process. I really wouldn't have her change anything else because I really believe that if I didn't go through all the crazy stuff that I went through a lot of really crazy stuff, that I wouldn't appreciate my life now and I wouldn't be where I am today. And I needed those experiences and those
Mm,
lessons in order to even be a coach and be able to relate to people and understand.
yeah,
So I guess even though it sucks in the moment sometimes, like there's a reason or like there's a bigger reasoning
bigger
usually
picture.
behind a lot of stuff. Yeah, that you just can't see in the moment.
Yeah,
And that doesn't go for every bad thing that ever happens. Like some things have no rhyme or reason, can never be explained. But at least in my life, my experience has been that like I've learned something
yeah.
necessary in my life through all of my ups and downs.
Love that. Really love that. And Rachel, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can the listeners reach out to work with you or connect with you?
Sober in Central Park on Instagram. Come find me over there and send me an email, soberincentralpark@gmail.com. And if you're out there and you're reevaluating your relationship with alcohol or you're just questioning like, do I maybe have a problem? Like reach out for help because I hate to break it to you, like people who don't have problems aren't questioning it. And so if you have, but it's okay. You can get over it. But
Yeah,
it's really hard to do it by yourself. So it's not weird to reach out to help for help. It's actually really admirable.
I appreciate that a lot. And again, thank you so much for joining me today. It was really great to hear your journey and thank you for sharing it with us. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future by wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep climbing and we will see you on